Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Morning Tea where we sit in our sleepwear and discuss... I don't have any tea. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah.
Melanated!
Welcome to another episode of Morning Tea where we sit in our sleepwear and discuss current events. Today's tea is, it might have been some Teavana tea. This is my tea canister that my friend Lita bought me. Two different types of tea. This one is Earl Grey Creme, which is my favorite, and it's done. And this one is just regular Earl Grey on top here.
Cute. She bought me two of them, so I have four, they break apart, it's cute. Okay, great.
All right, so let's jump right into it. All right, so first, this is the first thing that's on my mind. I have it up on my computer right now. 15-year-old girl was allegedly abducted by her teacher in Tennessee. This was on March 13th. On March 15th, there was surveillance footage of them in a Walmart in Oklahoma, over 650 miles away from where they are from in Tennessee. Family's lawyer is saying that it looks like she was walking behind him, looking towards him. Like, I don't know the constitution of this girl. I don't know who she is as a human being. I also read somewhere that on the day she was going to leave, she said to her sister, "I'm leaving. If you don't find me by a certain time, call the police." I don't know if that's true, if that equates, if he did abduct her. Like, we don't know what's happening. It seems like she went with him knowingly, like she just went with him. She was a student in his forensic class. Someone was said that he'd been grooming her to be somebody that he would want to be with. He's 50 years old. His name is Tad Cummings. It doesn't look like he abducted her. There might be some Stockholm Syndrome going on. There might be some sort of thing where they've known each other for a while and he's been whispering in her ear, telling her how much he loves her and all that jazz. And so maybe she's like feeling like this is her man. But he's 50 years old and a grandfather. He's full on married. Like, he has brought shame to his entire family. And this situation has gotten national coverage. So, like, I can't imagine what it's like to be his wife or his children right now. And his grandchildren probably don't know what is going on, like where grandpa is. And he just upped and left with this 15-year-old to live his life, I guess. But he's like on the top 10 most wanted now, so he's not gonna live that life he thought he was gonna live. They did not do this well. If he had planned this whole thing to like find himself a young bride, maybe he's just like, you know what, he and R. Kelly are living their dreams. I hope for the safe return of this girl to her family. I imagine it's going to be really hard. Both of their names are out there. Like, this is a crazy situation. So let's hope for the best. You know what I'm saying? Let's just hope for the best. There was a mudslide in Mocoa, Colombia, and 200 people are known to be dead. They're still searching to try to find other people. It said that the mudslides were triggered by heavy, heavy rains, and it was about 30% of monthly rainfall in one night. So all of the rivers, like, overflowed and people were asleep in their beds, and a lot of them didn't have time to like get on top of their roofs and wait out the mudslide, but it ruined a lot of homes. So there's a lot of devastation right now. So my, heart and positive energy and vibes go out to the family and all those people who are affected by that mudslide in Colombia. And I hope that Colombia has a strong enough infrastructure to go in and help. I did read that the president or the prime minister of Colombia went down to that area to make sure that things were getting cleaned up, but efforts are on their way to help find all the people, but so far 200 people are dead, so that's really very sad. Michael Flynn is a retired military guy, right? He's got like badges and stars and all this jazz, right? But he's never really made the type of money that like Trump and his administration, all the millionaires and the billionaires and whatnot has made. So he has like speaking engagements and does different things to try to, make money. Don't get me wrong, he's not poor, but he's not a millionaire or billionaire the way this new administration is. So the fact that he was like in on it and a part of it is a kind of a big deal. He was pushed out as national security advisor in February because he wasn't very honest. He kind of misled the VP as to the exact natures of his conversation with Russia. So they had to push him out because it seemed like he had ties with Russia. His ties with Russia was that he was paid to go and speak with some sort of Kremlin-backed newspaper. So the Kremlin is like the White House. It sounds like it's the worst name for any kind of like... The White House sounds so like, oh, it's the White House. The Kremlin sounds like a prison. This Russian newspaper paid him to come and speak at an event, and so he went to speak at an event, and from there he met Putin and other people. This administration chose to throw him under the bus because he wasn't one of them. He's expendable, and so they threw him under the bus with the situation, and now he's being called in by bipartisan committees from the House and the Senate. He's volunteering to come in and interview and answer a couple of questions well, I'm sure a lot of questions regarding his involvement with the Trump campaign, regarding his involvement with Russia. And before he could even go in, his lawyers have asked, or he's asked his lawyers to ask if he could have immunity. Immunity from what? Like, what information do you have that you want immunity from? The House committee and the Senate committee are both like, it's really too early in the game for us to be promising you anything, so let's hear what you have to say. And then, like, we could talk about it. But right now, that option is not on the table. You are not getting immunity. Come in for this interview if you want, you know? So another thing that's happened with these Senate and the House committees is that these committees are trying to figure out, like, what's going on with the White House, what the White House has to do with Russia, and they're bipartisan, going after the truth no matter what your party is, right? So the House and the Senate both have independent bipartisan committees made up of House and Senate members from both sides of the aisle. Devin Nunes or whatever his name is, he got some information and went directly to the White House to let the president know of the information he got. And that's a huge problem because the committees are supposed to be bipartisan. John McCain has been like, you've messed this whole thing up. You need to step down as head of this committee because you've showed your allegiance, and we can't have somebody who's shown their allegiance to the White House on the committee, on a bipartisan committee, because it won't be bipartisan. It will be very, very biased. I'm just really waiting for John McCain. I know I've called it out before, but I need John McCain to step up and be the Republican who fights for the people and not for the party. This is really upsetting to me, and I even hate to say it because it makes me feel so icky inside. There was a 15-year-old girl who was gang raped by a group of boys, and it was put on Facebook Live, and none of the people who watched it, there were about 40 people who watched it, none of them said anything. None of them reported it. And finally, the girl's mother reported it to Chicago police, and then they're now doing something about it. The girl has had to be relocated from her house because I think that the people who did it are like in her neighborhood, and so she's been harassed because of coming forward and saying that this happened to her, and it's all caught on tape, and they have actually arrested a 14-year-old boy in relation to this situation, and they will make other arrests soon. I hope that they absolutely do. What is it that would make somebody do something so egregious and then film it like fucking animals? Like animals, sons and nephews, and they go out and do shit, and like you're just like, who raised you? Who are you? I hope this girl gets counseling and like is able to move forward in her life, because I keep looking on Fashion Nova because I just want to buy stuff, but I'm just like, no, you have to pay taxes. Guys, I owe taxes. Why do I owe taxes? I'm so poor. The wealth distribution in this country is crazy. I mean, it's worse in other countries for sure, but for us to be like first leader in the world globally, you know, like the distribution in this country is ridiculous, right? All right, guys, that's it for today's episode of Morning Tea. Please, if you'd like to join the conversation, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about these topics, all right? I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Bye!